Hi everyone, I'm Lisa Joyner. If you want the nuts and bolts of Extreme Makeover Home Edition, then join us for a little Infinity. The untold secrets, the unsung workers, the impossible deadlines. Right now, Infinity goes behind the scenes of Extreme Makeover Home Edition.
So many people ask, how do you really do a house in 7 days?
See what this show is really up against and see why they're the perfect people to make it happen.
And I can tell you what really happens.
They were like, do you think we can do it? And I said, no, not at all, but it'll be a great television show.
We're one-on-one with Ty Pennington and the design team.
We want it to be a magical experience for this family.
Then, all work and no pay. We get the volunteer story. Plus, how this show just makes you want to cry.
It's weird for me to see myself cry on TV.
And that big moment everyone absolutely aches for.
We never quite know how it's going to go. It's live TV and you can't do it again.
If they're on camera or behind the scenes, we've got their story next as Infinity tears into Extreme Makeover Home Edition. Welcome to Infinity, TV Guide's ultimate fan guide to your favorite shows. Right now, it's Extreme Makeover Home Edition, and we're on location in Colony, New York. This is the job site for the be-all, end-all of home shows. But on this show, blueprints and designs are just the beginning. Extreme Makeover Home Edition lives by one mission: change a house and change a family. Emerging in early 2004, the ABC series quickly began winning the hearts of families all over the country. And in 05 and 06, it nabbed the coveted Emmy Award for Outstanding Reality Programming.
I don't think at the very beginning anyone thought it would become what it is today. Moms come up to me on the street and say, thank you for giving me an opportunity to sit with my kid for an hour, teach some morals and values, and know that there's good quality television they can watch as a family.
Each week, the show literally changes lives by constructing a brand new dream home for one very deserving family. And they do it all in a single week, thanks to a troupe of dynamic designers and one fired-up team leader.
I think this show is like people not giving up hope that someday someone's going to show up and help them. It doesn't happen every day, but I think it gives hope to people that their life can change.
I never lose that excitement of door knocking and saying, good morning, family. We're here. Your life is forever changed.
Like the title boasts, their builds are downright extreme, and their demolitions aren't too shabby either. The show pushes the limits in other areas as well. The families they choose are far from ordinary. Some have endured severe poverty or have children with heart-wrenching health problems. They've lost loved ones, suffered through horrendous natural disasters, and a few have been genuine heroes.
If I were to explain our show to someone, first of all, I'd say bring a box of Kleenex. You're going to need it. It's a tearjerker. Yes, it's about remodeling a house in a week, but more than that, it's about meeting these amazing families who've been through so much and really makes you appreciate what you have in life.
And this year, the season finale tackles another serious issue.
Debbie Open-Gaten, a wonderful, wonderful woman who was working with children who have HIV and ended up adopting 2 of those kids.
As if things weren't tough enough, Debbie's house was falling apart.
The foundation was literally cracking, sinking into the ground, and the windows had holes in it. So if these guys get like a flu or a cold, they don't have the immune system that can actually fight it, so they can physically die.
But this time, the team didn't stop at just building a house.
Tanya Queen and I went down to Camp Heartland, and basically they're a camp for children who are either infected or affected by HIV.
We built a rec center and a playscape and renovated bunkhouses.
With their 4th season coming to a close and their 5th already in production, Extreme Makeover Home Edition is still going strong.
There's something about the passion of everyone involved in it that's going to keep it the success it is for many years.
We know him as the lovable, hyperactive carpenter turned TV host.
All right, let's get some more. Let's do it.
But building a house in a week is a lot of pressure, even for Ty. How did you get your start in carpentry, design?
I've always been very hands-on. I work well with my hands, whether it's digging in dirt or building things. And then I put my way through art school as a carpenter, and it's something that you can always fall back on.
While he was honing his handyman skills by day and going to art school at night, Ty was approached by a talent scout from a modeling agency.
I started doing commercials, and I realized I was pretty comfortable in front of the camera, but I really couldn't do the blue steel and the Magnum. That really wasn't my thing, but I could make other people laugh, you know? And so next thing I know, I kind of figured out what my talent was.
In 2000, Ty was called to audition for a new home improvement show on the Learning Channel. He had no idea that call would lead to his big break.
Yeah, I went on this audition for this home improvement thing, and I thought it was this other thing that I knew I wasn't going to get, so I really didn't care. So I was talking about ripping the toilet out and putting the TV in the crapper, and I was really out of control. And so they wanted to see me in person, so then I went to Tennessee and auditioned, and I ended up getting Trading Spaces, and that was awesome because I didn't know there was a job where you can kind of be funny on camera, still be creative and build things. It was a phenomenon how popular that got on cable. And so then these people in California flew me out to start having creative meetings about doing a show. I came with an idea to build a house in 7 days, and I said, wow. They were like, do you think we can do it? And I said, no, not at all, but it'll be a great television show.
That great idea evolved into Extreme Makeover Home Edition.
Ty Pennington, he and I found each other on Trading Spaces, and now 8 years later, we were actually building houses for families that needed them. And it is a joy to work with him because he's so inspiring, he has great energy, and there's no partner I'd rather have than him.
We're making philanthropy hip.
Meet up with the design team when Infinity Extreme Makeover Home Edition returns. Find out where they came from and how they may not be who we think they are.
You know, people watching me may think I'm really a girly girl.
And later on in the show, working against the clock, the passion of the blue shirts, and how Move That Bus makes everybody nervous.
It's live TV that we tape, and you can't do it again.
This is more Infinity. Welcome back. I'm Lisa Joyner. This is the show where no job is too big and no deadline is too short. That's how they do it on Extreme Makeover Home Edition. A team of talented designers creates beautiful homes in record time, week after week. Although it's a group effort, each member puts his or her own stamp on the process. Tracy Hudson is an expert in interior design.
I just had a small interior design business, and the next thing you know, I'm on this dream job.
Tracy's not only become a designer in demand, she's also got style.
Exactly.
Like
I don't
boots.
have my sources. My so sexy boots.
Handy gal Paige Hemis also has her own look.
When I'm in this kind of man's world of construction, you don't want to feel like a guy. So I kind of picked the color pink to stand out a little bit.
But looks can be deceiving.
Yeah, I am the carpenter on the show, and I started just by remodeling homes. And I probably don't fit the typical stereotype, but so many women I've met in construction don't fit this typical stereotype either. And you realize that it's not that hard. You can do it too.
Paige isn't the only woman on the show who defies stereotypes.
You know, people watching me may think I'm really a girly girl, but I just love to get in there and dive in with the contractors. You know, if they're pouring concrete, I want to be pouring concrete. If they're driving a bulldozer, I want them to teach me how to, drive a bulldozer.
This big-hearted decorator designs bedrooms that provide a special haven for children.
I did design work to, pay the bills because I wanted to have a career in television and film. And so when I got this, I thought it's a perfect melding of both worlds.
Eduardo Zoll is another designer on the show whose career shifted gears.
I was working in entertainment in the Latin American market as a television soap actor and a recording artist, and decided to take a break. And during my break, I started my landscape design company in Beverly Hills in Los Angeles. And ABC heard about me, and they asked me to come in for an interview and an audition, and I got to stay. I call myself the Zen guy on the show. I'm all about sort of nature and keeping things balanced and calm.
By contrast, Michael Maloney likes a little frenzy. He works at top speed to deliver the goods.
Typical week for us is hitting the ground running. There's very little time. Yeah, there's very little time to, dilly-dally around. There's constant decisions being made. What people don't realize is what I do, I pick out the cabinets, I pick out the carpet, I pick out the hardwood floors, I pick out the knobs. I do all of that in one day.
Rounding out the EMHE squad, designer Paul DeMeo. With his vast experience in home renovation, the team can always count on Paul to come up with a few extra special projects. You're putting on the finishing touches, right?
Yeah, we got about 4 hours before the family comes home, so yeah, it is a race to the finish now.
You have a job that you actually entertain and you get to do something good. Do you know how lucky you are?
I am one of the luckiest people on the planet. At the end of the week, a family gets a house who have never had that opportunity. It's phenomenal.
And I am here with Ty Pennington. How are you?
I'm good.
And we're in your backyard, right?
Yes, we are.
This is not a renovation in progress.
Well, it's always a renovation in progress. Even this whole wall and the fountain and all that wasn't here like 6 months ago.
You put this in here, right?
Yeah. Before it was just a cinder block wall, you know, and so I had to I reinforced it and I put some steel in, and then.
Now, what is that? Is that bamboo or what is that?
It's actually a really cool product. It's actually an eco resin. It's an eco resin, which it's made out of recycled products. I'm just a big fan of having a little bit of that tranquil sound of the fountain. It really does wonders. And these are olive trees, California olives, so you can't get rid of them, which is great. Which is kind of nice though. But they're the sign of peace, and this is a fig tree, so this is a sign of fertility.
Oh.
So I got that going for me. I don't know what's going on.
Look out.
But yeah, peaceful fertility. So yeah, be careful out here. You know, things can happen. This is my outdoor collection at Sears, Ty Pennington style.
How's that feel?
It's good. Same with the lounge. Look at those sweet vines.
Those are great.
Yeah, it turned out really well.
You have stuff at Sears. That's like a dream.
Yeah, even outdoor shower that you see there, man. So all that.
That is too?
Yeah. Come in from surfing, you take the salt water off, so it's kind of neat. I call that room over there the man's room.
Oh, the man's room.
It's well, it has its own peculiar smell. But I think that's because cats have been going in there and kind of giving me a critique of my music.
Are you a budding musician? Do you?
Oh no, I play a style called horrorbilly. You ever heard of that? Yeah.
Horrorbilly.
Horribly.
Oh.
Yeah. I was going to team up and do an album with Hasselhoff, and we were going to tour all of Europe. But
oh
yeah,
my God,
yeah,
that would be
huge.
I would be the first person in line. That would be awesome. When Infinity returns, nobody builds them like they do.
It would take you, 3 weeks to remodel a bathroom, and we're doing it in 3 hours.
Welcome back to Infinity. I'm Lisa Joyner. They fix homes 1 2x4 at a time. This is our exclusive behind-the-scenes look at Extreme Makeover Home Edition. To build a dream house in record time requires precise round-the-clock scheduling and a whole lot of nails and elbow grease. Oh, and remember how they claim to do it all in a week? Well, it turns out that's not true.
So many people ask, how do you really do a house in 7 days? And it's actually less than that. It's 5 days.
We do it in 130 hours. The time that they actually tear the house down to the time that we hand over the keys is roughly 130 hours.
We really have to stay on schedule. You have to have your electricians, your plumbers, your flooring guys come in at night, and you have to have them scheduled.
In the real world, in the non-extreme home makeover world, how long would it take to do a job like this?
Probably about 8 to 10 months.
It would take you, 3 weeks to remodel a bathroom, and we're doing it in 3 hours.
It would literally cost millions of dollars. If you had to figure out, a plumber gets paid $80 an hour. So what if they work 36 hours straight? And now there's 50 of them. It's an impossible equation.
Another amazing statistic, every single one of these construction workers is donating their time, and you'll never once hear them complain. There isn't time to gripe.
They've got their, lingo, and they're just shooting out, hey, go here, go there, cut it, do it. And, at the end of the day, you look around, there's this entire house that what's gone on in 1 day would have taken a month on a regular build.
Don't forget, in addition to the house, there's also a TV show to make, and the production crew is an army in its own right.
We have a crew of roughly about 75 in the field.
Okay.
And we have cameras going 24/7 that are time-lapse cameras. And then we have our what we call reality cameras that kind of capture our designers.
We have 4 camera people, 3 audio people, 3 ACs. We have 10 production assistants. We have a 6-member production staff. And then we have me and my 2 producers and my 2 story producers. So it's a lot.
From start to finish, they shoot the entire episode in about 9 days. And then, within 4 weeks, it's ready to go on the air.
It's about 400 hours of footage down to 42 minutes. You can find some of it on YouTube.
It's almost a miracle. The crew really does build a house in under a week, and that tight schedule always has a hitch and a few headaches. What was your biggest challenge for this show so far?
The biggest challenge was, first of all, being in this cul-de-sac. We usually have a way in and a way out. Here we couldn't do that.
And if we can look at what we got going on over here, right. This actually was all covered with snow. We actually had to go and move this snow out of the way. The elements are what kind of hurt us.
There's a magic about this show that usually this particular crew has pretty good luck with weather. 5 days ago it was freezing rain.
Right.
Here it's in the 60s today.
Can you give me an example of something that stands out in your mind that may cause you a nightmare, a near miss?
We had a storm blow through in Wisconsin that almost lifted our tent off the ground, and just hellacious rain for like an hour. These materials would be 5 minutes of rain and all this would be shot.
We were talking a little bit about the foundation of this house. You know, they were starting to pour it, and it starts pouring down rain.
And what do? You can't not pour it. It must be poured. We must succeed.
Mm-hmm.
So those guys, as it was being poured, were standing by with tarps to cover it immediately. I mean, I'll call up the circus people and have them tent it if we have to. You know, no is not an option.
Have you ever not made a deadline?
We've never not made a deadline.
There has to be someone looking down from above because it always comes together. And for years, it has always turned out okay.
Have you ever not finished?
Only once that I'm aware of, and it was just bad circumstances, bad weather, and we only missed the day once.
That's
Seriously.
not bad statistic.
In almost between 90 and 100 shows, we've only missed it once.
Coming up on Infanity, we're ditching the worksite. It's an exclusive tour of Extreme Makeover headquarters.
If you have ever wondered, where did my application go? It went right here.
Lisa Joyner back with more Infanity, and this time we're on the job with Extreme Makeover Home Edition. As we've seen, a ton of work goes on at the build site, but that's not the only side to Extreme Makeover Home Edition. Infanity went even deeper behind the scenes and right into their Los Angeles production office for an exclusive tour with executive producer Denise Cramsey.
Welcome to my office. This is Extreme Makeover Home Edition offices. This is where the executive producer sits. I have the map up there, which is all of our states, so we know where we're going and where we've been. These little pins are the locations of every family that we've helped since the show started back in September of 2004. We've got a pin in Alaska, Fairbanks, Alaska. We've got a pin in Wichita, Kansas. We've got a pin in Portland, Maine. So follow me, I'll show you the rest of the office. These are pictures that we have of all the homes we've already done this year. This is sort of the path that we follow when we try to plan a house. We know what we want to do. We make a little color rendering of it on our computer, and then we sit down with a architectural program called a CAD program, and we make this, which is what the house will actually look like. And then we give this to our builder, and the builder makes all this happen.
Then Denise showed us the real heart of the office, the casting department. If you apply to be on the show, your application winds up right here.
We get a lot of emails, we get a lot of nominations from churches and social agencies and schools. So we get about 5,000 applications every week.
Their devoted staff reads every letter and watches every tape.
So we're picking one deserving family in each and every of the 50 states, which means the stories have to be really, really good.
But what exactly makes a perfect candidate?
The family needs to desperately need a house, and they need to have tried to fix the problem themselves and for whatever reason could not. Then they need the support of the community. It is the community that builds these houses, all the volunteers that come together. So unless it's a family that has given back to their own community, the community won't rally around them. It is some type of combination of desperate and deserving.
This show packs an emotional wallop like no other. Tell me about the crying thing. Seriously, I watched a clip 2 days ago before I came here. I watched the show.
Yeah.
I watched a clip, and I'm crying.
It's okay. And I actually truly believe that that little boy sitting on the sofa and his dad is crying next to him, like that's a huge life lesson because it's okay to own your emotions.
Everyone always says to me, I watch your show every Sunday and I cry and I cry and cry. So do I. I cry in the field when I talk to them. I cry in the field when I hold their hand. And for Ty Pennington, he has the same experience.
It's funny because it'll make you cry all over again because you've gone through something there and you connected with the family. And for me, like there's so many families that I really connect with that hit you right in the gut.
They go without eating. They weather the rain, the cold, the snow.
Next, who really makes the show work? The volunteers of Extreme Makeover Home Edition.
They end up like thinking they're going to volunteer for 3 hours and they end up staying 3 days.
This is more Infanity at Extreme Makeover Home Edition. I'm Lisa Joyner. Okay, Ty and his crew work themselves ragged, no doubt, but it takes a lot of extra hands to build this house. They are the volunteers, and they're affectionately known as the Blue Shirts.
Without the volunteers, we would not have a show. We actually have to turn volunteers away.
Really?
Yeah, because so many people want to help us out.
Any given show, we have anywhere from 1,500 to about 4,000 volunteers, and that's how we do it. You know, if it was up to us, we wouldn't have made it past the second show.
There's a whole sea of people that have been here, you know, ready first thing in the morning. What can I do? What can I help with? What can I go get?
They put on their blue shirts and they leave their family for a week. They walk away from their job for a week. They stay up hours upon end. They go without eating. They weather the rain, the cold, the snow. For a family they've never even met.
They end up like thinking they're going to volunteer for 3 hours, and they end up staying 3 days. And they come back. We've had people that, we've worked in Seattle that came all the way to Alaska. They've come down to Nebraska, just because they want to be involved. And those are the heroes.
Okay, Chris Russell, one of the unsung heroes of this show. You have volunteered how many times?
6.
6 times? You just must run on full adrenaline.
Most shows there's no sleep.
So I have a lot of volunteers. Tony! Here's one of my, Tony's really been running things for me, and what's amazing about Tony, he was born with that hand. He's a finished carpenter. I want to take him all over the planet with me because he's so good. So here's one of my volunteers. I got Eddie over here. I got Jason over there. I got Jim over here. I got Will over here. I got Don't Walk Away, Renee over here. I got little Noah over here. So this is really what makes my heart soar. Now back to work. Let's go. Let's go.
I'm not extremely handy, and perhaps not the biggest person. Is there some sort of job that I could do for you?
Certainly, people that are unskilled, so to speak, in the trades.
Yeah.
I mean, anything from painting, which is really a simple task. There's people that come out here and they're happy carrying around a tray of waters.
Even I could handle that. So I set out to do some good. Hi, would you like a water?
Yes, please.
Okay, could I get you a water?
Thank you.
How about you, little girl? Would you like a water?
A water, baby?
Want a water? There you go. Oh, you're sponging.
Sponging, yep.
Oh, cool. Could I try that?
You sure can.
Awesome.
Now you have a hand in on the Extreme Makeover.
I do. Still to come on Infinity, building the impossible. For these home builders, it's the toughest job they'll ever have.
What went through my mind, it was like, okay, we're going to battle.
Hi everybody, welcome back to Infinity. I'm Lisa Joyner and we're here on the set of Extreme Makeover Home Edition. I'm with the hero right here. This is George Amador, who is one of the builders with his family.
Yes.
Everybody's been saying great things. They're saying, oh, the volunteers come out, but the builders, they do the job. What was it like getting the call?
Getting the call, to me, was it was more of a humbling experience.
Really?
And with all the tens of thousands of builders around this great nation, there's only probably 80 of us who's ever done this task. So I feel very humble.
He said that he'd not really seen the show. His mother and his wife and daughter loved the show. And that he caught a show 6 months ago, and he was so moved and inspired that he said a prayer. And he said, if they ever come to New York, I want to do that build. A couple weeks later, he got a phone call.
Oh, gosh. On Extreme Makeover Home Edition, the job isn't just putting up a house, it's building a dream. So finding the right building company is critical.
We have a whole department that is an advanced team that goes out and searches for the top builders in the area. And so we just put the word out, and usually what happens is we knock on their door and they can't believe that they get the call.
We need to find a builder who's large enough to be able to pull in all the volunteers and all the materials that we need. And then also a builder who really understands the story and has a big heart and wants to give back to this family. And Amador Homes was the perfect equation.
Did you get scared? Because it's a week.
It's a week. What went through my mind, it was like, okay, we're going to battle.
Yeah, I mean, this is such, if you're going to be in your business, must be the ultimate, the pinnacle.
This is the Super Bowl of home building right here. the utmost Super Bowl. 96 hours we built this thing.
Wow, and you said up until this point, it took you, what was the shortest build you ever had?
54 days.
Really?
54 days.
When the limo comes down the street and the roar just picks up, you get chills.
When we come back, after all the headaches and hard work, it all comes down to one moment. Okay, Infinity is back. I'm Lisa Joyner. Well, this is it. This is the time we've all been waiting for. It's been a week of toiling over a brand new house, and the brand new house awaits the family. Right now, it is time to move that bus!
Well, it starts before the family comes home, when we have thousands of people that line the street and everyone's just cheering, and there's all this noise and all this great positive energy.
Who would have thought when we started this that it was going to be, that there'd be 4,000 people out there waiting to move a bus? It's phenomenal.
When the limo comes down the street and the roar just picks up, you get chills.
It's live TV that we tape, and you can't do it again. We never quite know how it's going to go. You never know until Ty opens up that limo door and you see the faces, and then it's like, wow. So I never get tired of it, never.
That moment when we move that bus, it's huge.
You see someone stand before their house and either buckle and fall to the ground or take their kids in their arms. They literally are standing in front of a home that symbolizes so much more than walls and a roof.
Oh, sure.
It's the gesture that they mattered, and their life mattered, and now it's going to be better.
There's no other day like that in their life. So for us just to be there, like I get to be next to them, like I get to be Santa Claus for the moment, and it's unbelievable.
What are you expecting when the family sees the reveal?
I think she is absolutely going to be flabbergasted, shocked. I hope she doesn't pass out on us because of excitement and enthusiasm.
It's just the best moment, because you realize that it's not just that week, it's going to last like forever.
You just look at their faces and you don't even have to have words exchanged. It's just that look of like, thank you so much. Look at me, I'm going to get teared up already.
It's an unbelievable feeling. And I guess it's because we know collectively that we're all doing something to make somebody else's life better, and that's a nice thing.
Okay, Infinity's work is done here. That's all we have for Extreme Makeover Home Edition. I'm Lisa Joyner. Thanks so much for watching.